What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Booba Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So this is where stuff gets sticky and interesting, and this is why I say that you cannot go by the rule book of the sanctioning bodies. You can't uphold it, man, because it's too shaky. Okay? Now the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, has come out and said that he's going to rethink. Now, he just came out yesterday and said that Dominic Breazeale would be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder and the WBC, the winner of that fight, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. He just came out yesterday and said that. Now he's saying today that he'll rethink Dominic Breazeale being the number one because Dillian Whyte had appealed that Dominic Breazeale is number one and he should be number one as far as, well, Dominic Breazeale is the mandatory, but Dillian Whyte is number one ranked. So now Dillian Whyte appealed saying that how can he be ranked number one in the WBC as a contender, but not the mandatory for the WBC? So Mauricio Suleiman has come out and said that it's tricky, that the whole situation is tricky due to special circumstances for for Dominic Breazeale. Now he's coming out, he's saying that he don't mind making the winner of Dillian Whyte and Luis Ortiz a title eliminator, which would make them a mandatory in return, right? So now he's looking to make the winner of that fight the mandatory for the WBC, and he's saying by December 1st, by Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, then he's looking to he's gonna look into the Dillian Whyte appeal. He said that him and the board could not come to an agreement. He said it was very close. He said him and the board couldn't come to agreement on Dillian Whyte's appeal to be the mandatory after being. So Dillian Whyte is number one in the WBC ranking as a contender, but he's not the mandatory for the WBC title. You see how confusing that is? You see, this is why I said when I was telling people that the WBC is doing shady things, right? As far as the Sean Porter Errol Spence situation, okay. So now they're saying that they don't mind making Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz a title eliminator, which will make the winner the mandatory for the WBC title, and they're gonna look into the appeal that Dillian Whyte set forth, right? And bumping Dominic Breazeale out of the mandatory position and making himself the mandatory position, which rightfully so, if you go by the rankings and you go by the rule books, he's number one contender. So he should be the mandatory for the WBC title. But they saying that it's a special situation that made Dominic Breazeale the number one contender for the WBC title. You see how confusing that is for the fans and for everybody else? So now they come out, they just said this yesterday, that Dominic Breazeale will be the mandatory for the winner of Fury Wilder. Now he comes out today and he says that Dominic Breazeale may be possibly bumped out of that position should Luis Ortiz versus Dillian Whyte eliminator now. They would make that eliminator, and now the winner of that fight will become the mandatory for the WBC title. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how confusing that is? So this is what I said when I was saying about Tyson Errol Spence versus Sean Porter situation, when I said that the WBC is playing games. We all knew that Errol Spence should have been automatically the fight after. It should have been ordered. The unification bout should have been ordered, point blank and period. Just like a mandatory. The unification needs to be ordered just like mandatories. So after Sean Porter Danny Garcia fight, what's understood don't need to be said. Everybody in the world knew that Errol Spence should have been that's why everybody called for him to be ringside. Everybody called for Errol Spence to get in the ring after the fight, to demand the winner, to do the same thing Sean Porter did to Danny Garcia. That's why everybody demanded that. Why? Because what's understood don't need to be said. Everybody understood that Errol Spence needs to be fighting the winner in the unification bout. So now Dominic Breazeale's the mandatory, right? And he just comes out yesterday and says that Dominic Breazeale will be fighting guaranteed the winner. If the winner of this fight versus Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, doesn't get a deal done with Anthony Joshua ASAP, that the winner of this fight will have to face Dominic Breazeale, hands down. He just came out and said this yesterday. Now, less than 24 hours, he's saying that Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz, because now Ortiz answered the bell and said he's willing to fight Dillian Whyte come December 22nd, and that's a bigger fight. Like I said, listen to what I said. And now we have a bigger fight, Ortiz versus Dillian Whyte. Now the WBC wants to hang on that ballot and say that the winner of that fight, it will be the mandatory. This is what I'm talking about. The confusion comes with the WBC, these mandatories. Mikey Garcia just came out yesterday and he said that he's having an issue, and I haven't looked too deep into this, but Mikey Garcia just came out yesterday and said he's having an issue as far as his mandatories and making a fight with Errol Spence. As far as the money, he can't come to agreement with the step aside money. So you see what I'm saying? And it's all due to the sanction bodies making this difficult. They're the ones that's making the sport of boxing difficult. Understand that. That's what we need to understand. It's the sanction bodies that's making this difficult. And they putting all these obstacles in the way, and they causing all this confusion. So just yesterday, they come out and said that Dominic Breazeale, less than 24 hours, Dominic Breazeale was hands down the mandatory should the winner of Wilder Fury not get a deal done with Anthony Joshua. Now that went by the wayside as soon as Luis Ortiz answers the bell and says that he's willing to fight Dillian Whyte December 22nd. Now they're gonna rethink Dominic Breazeale's stands as the mandatory. Dillian Whyte's demand to rethink the position as him being the number one contender and not being the mandatory, and Ortiz wanting to fight. It's crazy, man. But that's all I got, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Dominic Breazeale, what looks like to be pushed out. Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz looks like they could be the mandatory now. This fight looks like it just got that much bigger. Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz, December 22nd. Looks to be a WBC eliminator now, which would make the winner of that the mandatory for Deontay Wilder's WBC title. So that's all I got for you, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Y'all already know what it is. Make sure you like and share these videos. It's your boy Blue. Peace.